Hey guys, what's going on? It is October 25th. As you can see, we got our spooky pumpkin back there. And today, I just received in the mail this. I'm sure you know what this is. I received it much earlier than expected. This is my July special PSA submission. Wow, it's really only been, I think it arrived mid-August. And then it pretty much came back mid to end of October. So it really only took about 2 months, which is pretty crazy, all things considered. Also, I kind of apologize for the scuffed setup. My setup situation for doing things is just all over the place all the time, and I kind of felt like switching up what's going on here instead of filming at my usual dirty desk. So you know what? I didn't get a list of my grade, what I estimated the grades to be, but I have a pretty fair idea of them, and if I mess up, I'll put it on screen. But I already checked the grades. I already opened the submission and looked at all the cards because I just couldn't contain myself. But yeah, the grades were released on Sunday, and then it shipped yesterday, and it arrived already today. So it was incredibly fast. It literally went from research and ID to arriving within about 2 or 3 weeks, which was insane. Anyway, let's get into it. So yeah, this is how the box opens now, just like so. And then we got PSA in there, and then there are the cards. So yeah, the way that I've seen it is the box opens on the top, and then there's none of that. It doesn't open like this. It's just a pull at the top, and then, you dump the cards out from the top, but I guess they've changed it, which is fine. This way it looks a little bit nicer. So we'll just dump these bad boys out. Toss this PSA box, I don't know, somewhere back here maybe. It's probably going to fall over. There it goes. So here we go. This is my submission, all 21 cards, and we're going to look through them. We're going to do them from the back, just because they're not in the order I sent them in. they're all out of whack and out of order, and I didn't put them in the order. I just wanted to leave them the way that they came and not mess with it too much. But anyway, let's get into it. Overall, I'm pretty content, pretty happy with the grades that I received on these cards. There was a couple stinkers in there, but I mean, enough dubs in there that the ones that didn't work out as well, didn't really have much of an effect. So we'll get started here without further ado. Here's the first card. It is an English back, so we'll go ahead and flip it over. And it is Shadowless Hitmonchan. So this is a card I expected to get an 8. I was hoping would get an 8, and it did get an 8. So I'm pretty happy with that. This is going to go right into my personal collection for Shadowless base holos, PSA 8. This worked out great. This is actually an incredibly cheap card. I think I paid $30 for this card all in, and it is a PSA 8, and I'm pretty sure the PSA 8s of this card go for under 100 Canadian dollars, which to me is insane. It's a PSA 8 Shadowless holo. I don't understand, but I'm happy to have it nonetheless. And yeah, so we'll put that one off to the side. Next up, we've got... Actually, I'm going to turn on this light and see if it makes us look any better. Yeah, see, it kind of glares a little bit on it, doesn't it? I don't know. I don't know if the light is the move or not. We'll just keep it on for now. But yeah, so this one is the Vaporeon Gold Star. Very nice. This one got a 2, which I actually wasn't expecting. I was kind of expecting a 1. I think I said 3 in the video, but after that, somebody left a comment and said something that I was really I didn't even think about, because the back has some black specks on it from their little dirt stains and whatnot. I don't really know what it is, but I thought they might not grade it because it has marks on it. It's marked. So I thought that this might not get graded because of that reason, but they did grade it, and not only did they grade it, they graded it a 2, not a 1. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a win. This card's from my childhood collection. So, you know, and even PSA 2s of this card, surprisingly valuable. I think these are like, I couldn't find like an exact comp for it, but I think it was like $200 that these are going for in like a 1 or a 2. So that's a lot of money. You know, even $100, $50 for like a PSA 2 or a PSA 1 of a card, like kind of crazy. I'm probably going to sell this one just because it's a 2 and I really only graded it so that I could sell it so that I could raise capital to buy another card that I really want. So there's that. You know, I'm not really super attached to gold stars. I know a lot of people really like the gold stars, but they're not really super crazy my thing. Like, I like them. I think they're cool. But, you know, it's the kind of situation where I'm like, I'm going to sell it. You know, at the end of the day, it is a set card. It's not one of the main goals I have right now. So I would rather at this point sell it, get what I want with that money, and then, you know, I can hopefully maybe buy another one in the future. I'm sure they'll be around. So anyway, let's move on to the next card. Here we have new back Japanese. So we did send a new back Japanese card. We actually sent a few, so let's see what this one is. Okay, so yeah, this was where the submission was supposed to start, was this card. I'm actually kind of surprised this one got a 10 because it does have a print line. You can see it's almost like cutting off Deoxys's head. It's like going right through his neck across the top of the card. And I thought the centering was like a little bit off, but I mean, I guess it's not like that bad. But anyway, this is like best case scenario. This got a 10. This one's just for my personal collection. I just graded it because I liked it, and I was very surprised to see it got a 10. But it's an awesome card. It's from Tag All Stars. Very happy. You can kind of see something I noticed in this submission is some of the text on the label is kind of like it looks like maybe they were running out of ink or something when they printed some of my labels, but it's all good. You know, this one's for the personal collection. So, yeah, that one's really nice. I also feel like the cases feel a little bit different. Like, I don't own a ton of PSA cases, but these ones feel like they're a little bit more, they have a little bit more kind of like texture from like the edge, and like it's raised a little bit and there's some divots and stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, so we have another new back Japanese card. There we go. So we did get a Gem Mint 10 on the Pikachu. I was so excited about this because this is an awesome card. I love the Mystery Dungeon series. I just think it's so cool that, you know, it's like a shot from the game, and it's like literally just too good. I'm a huge fan of Rescue Team. Well, okay, I don't want to say a huge fan of Rescue Team DX specifically. I really, really just like Mystery Dungeon as a series. So super excited to get this card in a Gem Mint 10. This one is for the personal collection. Definitely keeping it. Incredibly happy about that one. And I think so far most of these were what I was hoping. Like the Hitmonchan, I hoped for an 8. This one I thought might get a 9 and was hopeful for a 10, and it got a 10. This one I was hopeful for a 10 and it got a 10, so I'm feeling good about that. Put that one down. Now we have another English card. I literally organized it like I'm pretty sure new back Japanese first, then English, then vintage English, and then vintage Japanese was like the Blaine's Charizard was the last one. So I don't know why these are all out of order like this, but this is just how it is, I guess. Anyway, let's see. This is a pretty clean card. I did notice that some of these cards had more... okay, never mind. This is a special delivery Pikachu. Okay, so here we go. Special delivery Pikachu. Very cool. Surprisingly, this card got a 9. I mean, I guess it's not terribly surprising. Look at all the orbs on that card, man. Holy fuck. There's like 8 orbs on this. That's insane. Anyway, yeah, I kind of was thinking this one would get an 8, but it actually got a 9. So that's a good experience for me. I guess there's like a little print line or something on the holo, and then the back actually does look clean. So yeah, super happy with that. Solid PSA 9. I will take it. Got Japanese, new back. Which one is this? This one might be the big hitter of the whole set. Yes, it is. We did get the Gem Mint 10 on the Players Ceremony 2019. That is amazing. This card pretty much made up for the rest of the cards that didn't grade the way I wanted them to. Just because this is insane. I bought this card last spring and it was like $400. And I was like, God, I really hope this grades a 10. And it did. And I just can't be happier because in a PSA 10, this card is incredibly expensive. And I'm just glad that I have it in my collection and I don't have to pay what PSA 10s are going for. So yeah, there is something I did notice where when I looked at it in the case, when I first pulled it out, I could see some like whitening, just little blips of whitening on the top that I didn't really see before. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a 10. It's still a very clean card. So yeah, just look at that art, man. That Himeno artwork is just insane. You got Jirachi and Mew in there. The background's super colorful. It's just an amazing card. This next one, I'm also really happy got a PSA 10, and I think I was hoping for a 10 on this. I was hoping for a 10 on the Players Ceremony, but I was kind of expecting the Players Ceremony card to get a 9, but I was hoping for a 10, so I'm glad that happened. Here we go. This one, I'm really happy I got a 10 as well. Flip it over. There you go. The Gold Star Umbreon 25th Anniversary Japanese card. This card is doing some things right now. All the Japanese cards are doing some things right now. Okay, but this one, right? $60 when I bought it in the summer, just a few months ago. Raw near mint. This is a pretty solid deal. I'm happy with that. That's around where they were going. So I'm happy with that. This card in a PSA 10 right now, it raw, it's gone up to like over $100. I see it for over... What's the conversion? I think it's 10,000 yen. I see it going for like 12,000 yen or something on like Japanese sites. And then on eBay, it's like up to $100 Canadian. So that's a big price increase. The PSA 10s of these cards are going for close to $400, which is insanity. So I'm so glad that I picked this one up when I did at the price that I did. And I managed to get a 10 on it. And now I don't have to worry about it anymore. And that is just everything that I could have asked for, honestly. So there you go. That one's for the personal collection as well. That one's off the list. Thank God. I do still want to buy more of those. So hopefully they go back down in price, but you know, I'm super happy that one graded a 10. That's all I could really ask for. Next up, we have an English card. I'll show you the back there. There is a little bit of whitening here. And yeah, so I'm not really sure what this is. Okay, yeah, here, this is the Venusaur. So this one got an 8, which is interesting because I was really hoping it would get a 9 and a little bit hopeful that it would get a 10, right? But it didn't. It got an 8, which I kind of expected a little bit. I was like, well, it's just going to get like an 8 or something. And I'm going to be like, what the hell? But anyway, now that I see it in the case, right? It's like there's definitely some whitening in that top right corner, and there's definitely some whitening in these bottom corners that was not there before, because that is, look at that, especially that bottom left corner. That is some bad whitening. If I would have seen that, there's no way I would have expected this card to get a 10, and I probably wouldn't even have expected it to get a 9. So I'm really not sure what happened in processing here. It looks like something happened, and clearly there's a ding there that wasn't there before. I'm not really sure. Either way, it graded an 8, so kind of sucks. Not really. I'm still happy it got an 8, but there's also kind of something, like you can see right there above the leaf energy, there's almost like something, like some paper or like sticker or something. I tried to scratch it off, but it looks like it's on the inside of the case. I don't really know what that's about, but... So this card kind of didn't really go the way I wanted it to. I was just going to resell it anyway, so I'm probably just going to resell it still. It's just unfortunate because, you know, obviously it would have been more money if it was a PSA 9 and a lot more money if it would have been a 10, because a lot of the cards in the submission that I submitted to sell are for raising some more money to make a big purchase next year. And, you know, if this card would have graded a 10, it would have pretty much covered the entire purchase with just this card. But it didn't, and if it graded a 9, it would have been really helpful. Unfortunately, I think this card is like almost Like it's like under $200, I think, for a PSA 8. So it's better than nothing. It is kind of a bummer though, because I definitely very carefully inspected it and I did not see such whitening. But anyway, can't complain. Like I said, the player's ceremony kind of makes up for that one, because whatever have you, you know. But kind of unfortunate, because finding mint WotC, like mint PSA 9 mint to 10 mint gradable WotC cards in the wild right now, or just in general at this point in time, is very difficult. So I was really excited to have found that one for the price I got it for, and then it was kind of disappointing to be like, damn, it didn't really work out, but it's fine. It'll be okay. So this next one is the Blastoise. I actually submitted 2 of these, and this one got an 8, which is exactly what I was hoping it would get. And yeah, there's not much I can really say about this. This one's worth more than the Venusaur, so I got 2 of these, and I actually got a good price on one of them specifically. I got a good price on both, but so yeah, this one's actually in pretty decent condition too. It's actually got less whitening, I think, than the Venusaur, which is funny. But yeah, so this one got an 8. Pretty content with that. I did buy a Shadowless Blastoise PSA 8 in the summer for my collection, and I'm gonna probably sell these 2 regular ones to cover that cost retroactively. Here's the second one. Also got an 8, which I was also hoping for. I need to readjust the way I'm sitting because my feet are now going numb. So yeah, got PSA 8. Very happy. One of these I was kind of hoping might grade a 9. I thought one of them had potential. Maybe it was the last one. This one has a bit of corner whitening, but other than that, one of these was $50. I paid $150 for one of them, and then this one of them I paid more recently, like in August, I think, or July, $50 for it. I guess I wouldn't have bought it in July because I submitted them in July, and it was a July special, but it was like I bought this one like right before I completed my submission. So it just snuck in there, $50. They're like almost $300, I think $280 for an 8. So can't really complain about that too much. We'll go into the next one. I only submitted 1 old back Japanese card, and it was supposed to be at the end of the submission, but for some reason it's just in the middle here. So we'll look at it. It's another one of those situations where that whitening on the top right corner was not there when I submitted it. I'm not really sure where that came from. I looked the card very thoroughly up and down. I'll have to rewatch the original video where I showed it off, but I do not recall that whitening being there because I would not have expected it to get a 10 if I saw that whitening. Anyway, I was kind of hoping this card would get a 10. There is a little blemish, like right here, right above my fingertip. You can hardly even see it, but I was hoping they might miss that and it might get a 10 because the card otherwise looked flawless. Of course, now there's some whitening on it, and I guess they caught it, so it is the Blaine's Charizard. It did get a PSA 9, which is cool. I mean, I still can't really complain. It's still a Blaine's Charizard from Gym 2. I also paid $50 for this card, so I'm pretty content with that. It's going straight into my collection because I do love Gym 2. It's one of my favorite sets. I do already have a couple holos from Gym 2. But yeah, this is obviously the big one. Actually, I think Sabrina's Gengar is also in Gym 2 in Japanese, yeah, so maybe that one's the big one. I don't know which one's more expensive in PSA 10, but this one is like a $200 and something card in PSA 9, so, you know, I'm probably not going to buy the PSA 10. This'll hold me back, because, you know, had I not gotten this card, I probably would feel tempted to buy the PSA 10, but now that I have the 9, I don't really have to worry about it. I can just kind of chill for now, which is good. So next up, we have more English. You can see this card is very heavily played. This is the other card I was worried that might not even get graded just because of how heavily it was damaged. They did in fact grade it, so that's very good. I'm super happy about that. And obviously it got a 1. But this is my Shadowless Charizard from my childhood collection. It's very beat up. It's a poor 1. I expected that. I honestly was like unsure if they were even going to grade it. But here it is. Graded no less. And these cards, this is a 1, and it's still quite expensive. So I'm probably going to sell it and put that money towards buying a PSA 8 Shadowless Charizard for my set. So that's exciting stuff. That's really cool. I'm glad that that got graded. Super cool. I'm glad I didn't get any cards that didn't grade. Next up, we have another English card. Let's see what it is. Okay, it's Houndoom. Yeah, so this was one of the first cards in the submission. I don't know why it's way down here, but here it is. This one was just kind of a filler card that I sent in because I was like, I pulled this myself and I was hoping it would get a 10 because it was super clean. Sure enough, definitely hit the 10. That's pretty much everything I could have asked for with this. So you can see, super clean, super clean. So, yep, that's pretty much what I hoped and expected for PSA 10. Next up, we have a bit more of a played card. I think there's even a bend right there, which is nice. I think I know what this is. Yes, it is the Jolteon Gold Star. So this card actually got a 5. This was with the Vaporeon Gold Star. Yeah, they were together, also from my childhood collection. I'm pretty sure I expected this to get a 3 or a 4. So a 5 I will take. We will take that. And I'm really happy with that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that. I'll probably end up selling this one as well for that extra money because it's one of those cards that even in a PSA 5 probably still fetches a couple $100. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's pretty sweet. Next up, I have another English card. I do think I know what... Oh, no, never mind. I do not know what this is. Okay, here we go. It is the Lapras EX from Ruby and Sapphire. This one graded a 7. I was kind of really hoping it would grade an 8. But 7, you know, we'll take that. It is pretty... There is some pretty serious whitening on there, and I feel like there was some hollow scratches, so I can't really be too upset about it. It's a really nice card, but I will probably end up selling it. They're not super valuable, but, you know, it's something, I guess. So next up, I think this is the last English card before, like, you know, the final cards. You'll understand what I mean in a second. Anyway, here we go. We got a Gengar EX. I expected this to grade an 8. Was fingers crossed it would hit a 9, but it did in fact hit the 8, which I'm okay with. This card is beautiful, by the way. Just look at that. Absolutely stunning, the foil on that card. Oh my lord. I always found it was super funny. Look at his, like, big toe on the foot that he's kicking. And so it looks so, like, weird and, like, I don't understand what's going on there, but anyway, yeah. So this one has some whitening, but it's actually not too bad. You know, it's actually pretty clean. Had it not had, I think there's like one hollow scratch on it, like right here. And had it not had that, see if I can catch it. Had it not had that hollow scratch, probably would have got the 9, and then it would have been like a $500 or $600 card, I feel like. It's still like $300, I think, in a PSA 8, which is crazy. I'm not really sure if I'm going to sell this. I initially planned on selling it, but I mean, it's just so nice that it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. I'll see how I'm feeling. I'll have to feel that one out a little bit more. All right, so here we have a new back Japanese card. I'm not actually sure what this is. Oh, I actually am. Well, I'm not. Actually, never mind. Okay, yeah. It's the Eevee Scream. I kind of forgot about this card. The Scream Eevee. This one did get a PSA 9, which I did expect because it is off-center. However, it's another one of those situations. Look at that corner whitening up here. It's kind of bad, right? And I don't think it had that when I sent it. I do not recall seeing corner whitening like that. The only thing I saw wrong with the card was the centering. So I don't know what the deal is. Some of these cards seem like maybe they came back with more damage than I sent them with. You know, because it didn't, I don't think it had corner whitening like that. And there was a couple cards that came back with right corner, right top corner whitening or other, you know, corner whitening that it didn't have before. I don't know if that's just damage I missed. I can't really see that being the case because I do thoroughly inspect my cards like multiple times under multiple different lighting. So I feel like I would have seen that. Either way, it's still graded a 9, which is fine. It's not like terrible. It's just kind of like, why is that happening? But whatever. Anyway, you know, I was expecting a 9 on this card anyway, so I'm not like super bothered about it. This one I am probably also going to sell. yeah, just for more money, for more cards. But so that's cool. That one is what I expected. And then we have the last 4 cards. The last 4 cards, so I'm sure maybe you remember, Tropical Wind, no stamp. So I submitted 4 of these, and I expected, well, I shouldn't say expected. I was hopeful one would get a PSA 10. And if one was to get a 10, it probably would have been this one, because I think this was the first one I bought. You can see it is very clean. The only real issue is some light, again, top right corner whitening. Don't know what's going on there, but even then I feel like just that, like, I personally think with that corner whitening, this front centering, I think this card could get a 10. I would seriously, honestly, like, consider resubmitting this one to get a 10. It didn't though, which is fine, like, whatever have you. I might resubmit it in the future. I don't really know. We got the next one here. This one is also quite clean. You know, you can see less whitening, which is nice. So this one also got a PSA 9. Again, I feel like this one has slightly worse top to bottom centering on the front. But again, like, I don't know if that's, like, I don't know if I would take that down a whole grade. This card is like mint, aside from that light off centering on the front. I don't know how I feel about that getting a 9. I mean, obviously I accept it because I do, like, you know, I get it. But at the same time, I kind of feel like I've seen cards that are less minty than this get 10. So I don't know how I feel about the 9. I kind of expected all of them to get 9s. So, like, it's not even really the 9s that are bothering me. This one got an 8, which bothered me because I was like, this card was very, like, all of the cards were very mint. The Tropical Wind. This one, obviously, the centering is too off on this one, I think, to get a 9. So, or to get a 10, sorry. So, like, I kind of understand that. I'm not bothered it didn't get a 10. But this one has back corner whitening for days. And it did not look like this when I sent it. Mm-hmm. You can see the corners are dinged. And they did not look like that because there's just no way that I would have sent this card expecting it to get a 10 or a 9 had it had corner whitening like that. So I don't know what's going on at PSA, but I kind of feel like some of my cards have been corner dinged, slightly damaged in the process of grading. I don't really understand because this card was definitely a 9 candidate, potentially a 10 candidate card going in for grading, and it comes out with corner whitening. Kind of frustrating. This one, however, also got a 9. So at least there's that. At least we got 9s on most of them, even though, you know, whatever, but there's a little dust. Again, not really much going on the back here. It looks like there's almost like a crease on the top right corner, though. I don't know what is the deal with the top right corner. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but it just seems like something they're doing is damaging the corners on some of these cards. But it's whatever, I guess. You know, those are PSA 9s. That one's an 8 now because of whatever they did to it. So kind of unfortunate. I did spend a lot of money on those no stamp Tropical Wind cards, and they were very mint when they arrived to me. So to kind of have them come back and some of them be more damaged than how I sent them is frustrating. Yeah, and so that was kind of the biggest thing of that submission was the Venusaur and then those Tropical Wind cards. But I mean, most of them still got 9s, so I can't really complain much. That's just me nitpicking with it. Anyway, so that's all the cards I got back and all the grades you can kind of see. I'm thinking about doing another part to this before I end the video where I kind of go over a spreadsheet and talk about all my expenses and stuff. So I will do that now.